You ever find yourself scrolling through YouTube Shorts and you just stop? Because you stumble on a video that teaches you something genuinely complex? I mean, like rocket science. And it does it in less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee? It's kind of wild, right? Well, that's the puzzle we're getting into today. We're going to unpack the incredible power of explaining really big ideas in just a few seconds. So, let's start with this. How on earth do you explain a two-stage rocket in 50 seconds? Sounds pretty much impossible, doesn't it? Well, we're going to break down a viral YouTube short from the channel Zach D Films that does exactly that. We're talking building and launching a functioning two-stage soda bottle rocket, all in under a minute. Okay, let's dive right in. Now, to get how the explanation works so well, we first have to understand the rocket itself. We're going to move at the same quick pace as the original video, so try and keep up. First things first, let's build this thing. It all starts out really simple. You take a tube and you use it to connect two bottles. Then you get this tiny little parachute and stuff it into that middle section. That's going to be our recovery system. Next, you pop some plastic fins on the sides for stability. And finally, you partially fill each bottle with water. And that's it. 4 quick steps and the rocket is ready to go. All right, now we get to the fun part. We're moving from a simple build to some pretty complex physics, believe it or not. This is the launch sequence, where all those basic parts team up to create a real multi-stage flight. Let's break down the chain reaction. So first, a bike pump builds up a ton of air pressure inside. Then, when it's launched, that massive pressure blasts the water out, sending the rocket flying dozens of feet into the air. Now here's the magic. As that bottom bottle empties, the connecting tube just slips out and the two parts separate. You guys, that's stage separation. Then, the top half shoots out its water to fly even higher. That's your stage 2 ignition. And finally, as it falls, the parachute pops out from the bottom half, letting it just float on down, just like a real rocket. Pretty cool, right? But the rocket isn't the only amazing thing going on here. The real magic is the explanation itself. I mean, how did you just learn the basic principles of a two-stage rocket launch in, 30 seconds? And feel like you totally got it? Let's break down that magic. So this isn't an accident. It's a total masterclass in communicating efficiently. There are a few really simple techniques happening here that make these 50-second explainers so incredibly powerful. First up, let's talk about the language. It is all about action verbs. A tube isn't put in, it's inserted. A parachute isn't just placed, it's stuffed. And pressure doesn't push the water out, it blasts it out. These words aren't just describing something, they create this feeling of pace and energy that just pulls you through the video. It's almost impossible to look away. Next up is the power of simple cause and effect. The whole story is just a direct chain of this causes that. Pressure blasts water, which sends it flying. The lower bottle empties, which causes the parts to separate. There are no fuzzy connections. Every single effect has a super clear, immediate cause, and that makes the physics feel completely intuitive. And finally, there's the sequential logic. The explanation follows this really strict, unchangeable order. First you build, then you launch. Step 1, then step 2, then step 3. This lets our brains build a mental model, like piece by piece, so we never get lost. So, what does this all add up to? Well, this is it. This is the short-form explainer's toolkit. It's that combo of active verbs, a clear sequence, direct cause and effect, and absolutely zero technical jargon. These 4 things, they're the secret sauce. They're what make a 50-second video feel even more informative than a 10-minute lecture sometimes. So, okay, why does any of this really matter? Because this isn't just about making cool videos. It's about a really fundamental shift in how we actually learn stuff. What we're really seeing here is the power of micro-learning. By breaking down these huge, complex topics into tiny, digestible, and, let's be honest, engaging little chunks, it makes it possible to learn in the spare moments of our day. We're talking about grasping core concepts in seconds, not hours. And that makes learning more accessible than ever before. At the end of the day, the power of a great explanation like this is just immense. It respects your time by getting right to the point. It makes a subject like rocketry feel accessible to, anyone, a kid or an adult. And a lot of times, a brilliant 50-second explainer doesn't just teach you one thing. It sparks your curiosity to go and learn 10 more things. It really is about understanding the world 1 minute at a time. So, I'll leave you with this thought. Now that you've seen the toolkit in action, think about your own world. Your job, maybe a hobby you have, a concept you just love. What complex idea could you simplify and explain in under a minute? The answer might be way more powerful than you think.